Bless the love everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Free Speech People Talk. I am your host, Jamaki, and today we're going to be looking into corruption is cancer. And I also came up with a term. It's called selective corruption outrage. We're going to talk about it right after these messages. You do not want to miss this one. Stay tuned. Are you a recording artist? Have you been spending thousands of dollars in the studio to record, mix, and master? Then spending thousands more to get the cleanest quality music videos, but you're just not getting the attention that you deserve. Neither are you getting any cars from promoters for performances. Well, the reason is pretty simple. It's because nobody knows who you are. As an entertainer, publicity is your best friend. Here at Her Pocket Productions, we have heard your cries for media attention. So we have went ahead and partnered with two of the best publicists in the business, both locally and internationally. So in addition to your outstanding 4K quality music videos, Her Pocket Productions is now offering you the publicity that you need to propel your career to the next level. So do you want to be in news articles, radio interviews, radio airplays, TV interviews, performance bookings? WhatsApp or call Her Pocket Productions now at 876-342-5421 to get your quote. Her Pocket Productions, pocketing moments, crafting timelessness.
AI technology is a fast-rising phenomenon in the music industry and is a very recognized marketing tool to promote your music. From songs to music videos, AI technology is making its way in the entertainment spectrum at a speedy rate. So do you want to be a part of this phenomenon and promote your music with videos like the one on the screen? Then call or WhatsApp us at 876-342-5421. Herb Pocket Productions, pocketing moments, crafting timelessness.
Yeah, this is Nature Ellis representing free speech. People talk. Sin. Do it through the pores of the most high. Nature Ellis, I said that. Her pocket, you don't know, it's like a rocket.
Welcome back. So I think a lot of people, especially Jamaicans, would agree that Jamaica is suffering from a corruption crisis. And why do we have this corruption crisis? I'm going to get into it right now. So what do I mean by selective corruption outreach? Do you know that a lot of times we overlook some minor things that we think aren't an issue, but really and truly they lead to bigger corruption? And this is why I say corruption is cancer, and I'm going to explain that to you right now. Now, if any of you knows anything about cancer, you know that cancer works in stages. Same can be said about corruption. It works in stages, and I'm going to break them down for you. Alright, so just imagine you're not feeling well, you go to the doctor and you get a regular checkup. Maybe you weren't thinking anything serious of it. But anyhow, the doctor informs you that, listen, you're in your early stages of cancer. But you decide that you're going to go home and not do anything to that cancer. Just leave it alone. Totally abandon it and just go on about your business, go on about your life, right? Months after, you end up back at the doctor. And then the doctor tells you, listen, cancer is getting worse. Please seek serious medical attention. You decide that, nah, it's cool, doc. Don't worry about it, man. I'm gonna be fine. I'm gonna drink some herbs and bushes and I'll be fine. You go back home. You go back to the doctor. The doctor said, listen, you're now in stage 3 of your cancer. You really need treatment and I can't send you home like this. You decide that, hey, doc, what's wrong with you, man? I'm gonna go home and drink some herbs and bushes, man. Leave me alone, doc. I'll be fine, man. Don't worry about it. You go back to the doctor after that and the doctor said, no, you can't go home this time. The cancer is at a stage now where we cannot joke with it any longer. Then the cancer starts taking a toll on your body. And now guess what? The damage that the cancer has done is irreversible. You're no longer curable. No chemotherapy, nothing at all can save you. The same can be said about corruption. Let me go ahead and break it down for you further. No, I do not sit here and proclaim to anyone that I have walked the straight and narrow all my life when it comes on to corruption. Because some of us, whether knowingly or obliviously, has partaken in corruption without even realizing. So let me just get into some details and show you something. Let me show you some of the minor things that are corruption that you do not consider to be corruption. And these small corruption can metamorphosize into larger corruption, which is stage 4 of the cancer. It's now incorrigible. This is one of the scenarios. Now imagine this. A police officer pull you over and your car has some infraction. But to get out of a ticket, the officer said, listen, what can you do for the police? And you say, officer, I only have $2,000. The officer said, alright, that can buy lunch. and you hand that money over to the officer. If you have ever done that before, that's actually corruption. Hey Jamaki, what you're talking about, that's just a small, that's nothing big. No, it's not. So hold on a second. You think that officer is going to stop a two-gun? That's just a gateway to lead to bigger corruption. The moment the officer realizes that I can get away with this and I don't have to answer to anyone, I am the law. Because remember, you know, when you break the law, you're in a very sticky spot. Because it's either they're going to let you go or you're going to face the consequences. You understand? What happened when those two are not an option? It means that some illegal activities, some corruption has to take place, don't it? So you think he's going to stop a two-gun? If you think he's going to stop a two-gun, guess again. So you say that $1,000 or that 2, 3, 4, 5 grand that you gave the officer to get out of a ticket, it can metamorphosize, it can snowball into an officer, possibly planting weapons and guns and people. That's the stage 4 of the cancer beyond repair. You think that same officer, realizing that he can make 2, 3, 4, 5 grand from each motorist for minor infraction, is going to stop at road traffic violation? Don't you think someone who's traveling through with larger quantity of destruction, don't you think they're going to be able to pay their way through also? Let's look into another one. So you want your driver's license. Understand. But anyhow, you think if I go to the depot, they're going to fail you. Which in most cases, that is indeed the case. And it's very sad. But you know why that happened? It is because of a snowball effect. What is that snowball effect? The snowball effect is this. Someone decided, or a group of people decided from day one, that you know what? Instead of driving for my license, let me just give someone at the depot some money and I get a driver's license. But you know what metamorphosized from that? It metamorphosized into people who cannot drive, obtaining a driver's license, hence causing a lot of lives on the road to be lost. So that's the end stage of that cancer of corruption, or that corruption of cancer, whichever way you want to put it. You understand? Let me show you another one. I cannot recall any firearm that was made or is made in Jamaica, but however, we have a lot of them here. How is that the case? Where do these weapons come from? And yes, we can argue they came from the sea. So let me ask you a question. And this is just my honest opinion. I'm not pinpointing anything on anyone. You're telling me that so many weapons are coming from off the seashores. And we have marine police. We have marine police, you know that, right? We have the Coast Guard, right? You know that, right? So that means that either they are not doing their job effectively or someone is turning a blind eye. Just think about it. Think about it. You get that? That's a form of corruption. When you go to the port or the wharf, right? And you're clearing a barrel and you have 2 extra tins of mackerel and the person said to you, these are not supposed to come through, but anyhow, we can work something out. What can you do for yourself? And you say, alright, here you go. Take this. And the person say, alright, go ahead with the extra tin of mackerel because they have nobody final to answer to. Right? You think they're going to stop at 2 tins of mackerel? Do you think that they're going to stop at 2 tins of mackerel? No. 2 tins of mackerel is nothing when they see the potential of what they can make based on the authority that they have. So you are feeding corruption in very minute amount and it's accumulating to a stage 4 cancer. That's what's happening. Why am I saying these things? We get outraged when we see clips of police officers allegedly planting firearms on people, or magazines or clips as we would call them, on people, right? We get so confused and so outraged and our heart boils when we hear that police officers went into a house, no proper search warrant, that person end up being unalive. And we get so outraged and not realizing that we are the ones who fuel these things and brought these cancer corruption to the stages that they are now. Let me give you some more example because I want everyone to be able to understand what I'm saying and get the full picture. Links mentality is corruption. Whenever you think that you can get through everything because you have links, it is corruption in most cases. Nepotism is corruption. Favoritism is corruption. Learn that, know that. And if you don't know what these words mean, please pause the video and go ahead and do your research. Moving on. Let's talk about music for those who are artists or in the arts. Once upon a time, you had to be talented, and then you will get your shine. Check history. Throughout history, back in the days, every single artist, and I can name a lot, listen to their voice, listen to their style and their flow. They have talent. They actually have a good set of talent, right? Now we listen to music. It's a bunch of talentless people singing all kinds of nonsense. How did this reach here? When the radio station DJ decided that they were going to accept payola to play people's music, what good did you think was going to come of that? It snowballed into now. Proper, decent, well-talented artists can't get their songs on the radio if they don't have money. And yes, music is a different case because that can be seen as an investment, just as you would invest in your business. So it's kind of a different type of corruption, but I want to cover all angles so everybody can understand what I'm saying. So now it leads to the demolition of music. The quality of music has plummeted because of this. Moving on to another example. Who remember a couple of years ago there was a case at FLA, that's the Firearm Licensing Authority, where they had to fire the whole board and the entire staff at FLA were replaced. Who remember that? You know why that happened? Because of corruption. That's what happened. Criminals had license firearm and law-abiding citizens couldn't get no license firearm because they did not have the funds to pay someone the extra amount to get a license firearm. That is corruption, and that's what corruption causes. Let's get on to another example. So I'm just giving you all these examples so that you can understand. The small corruption that we partake in as citizens is what snowballs into these stage 4 cancerous corruption. And then we get outraged for certain corruption and we don't get outraged for the corruptions that suit us, that's in our benefit. We have to be true to ourselves. And even if you have done any of these things, you still have to look at it and know that it was indeed corruption. If you have ever accepted any favor that you were not supposed to accept from any politician in order to vote in their favor, with the knowledge of knowing that they expect you to vote in their favor and in the favor of their political party, that is corruption. What is the end result of that corruption? Underperformance of government. So they don't have to fix the road, because the next 5 years from now they can come and give you an offering which they know that you will accept and they will still have your vote. So what is the end result of all these cancers? My friend, if you know anything about cancer, which I know that you do, it destroys any host that it finds itself inside of. So if cancer is within a society, it will destroy society. The cancer that's in your body will eventually destroy your body. The cancer that is in society will eventually destroy society. So when you keep on partaking in these what you call small corruption, corruptions that you don't think is corruption, corruption that you bypass because you think it's too small of a corruption to be recognized, what is the end result? A society that is going to be crippled by corruption. What do I mean by this? The cancer is the small corruptions. Society is the body. So because of your selfishness, you're destroying the entire body, which is society. So we are selfish into thinking that let's just give him 2, 3, 4, 5 grand and then eventually we can get out of it. But are we thinking of the end result where innocent people might end up losing their 3 points because that officer started from small? So now here he is, seeing a whole vehicle loaded with weapons, and because they have the right amount of funds to pay, those people went through. Who is going to be on the receiving end of all that weapon? Now, let me just say this as a disclaimer. I'm not saying that these things are happening. I'm saying it's a high possibility that small corruption can metamorphosize into these major corruption. So I'm not saying that we don't have the right to be outraged when corruption takes place. But don't just get outraged when it's at a stage 4 level of corruption. Start the outrage on the street where the officer said, give me XYZ and I will let you go. It's either it's going to give you a chance or be a man and face the consequences of your action. If you want to truly get rid of corruption and have a healthy corruption-free society, you have to look within yourself. And I know this sounds very hard because we have been cultured. We have been cultured so much into thinking that it's okay. Literally, if you see a group of police down the road, the stereotype is a lunch money them a look. That is the stereotype. We have to walk away from that. We have to get rid of that. How are we going to get rid of that? We have to be the one who take a stance against it. We have to stand up for something. We can't keep falling for everything. You understand? And that's how corruption reached the stage where it is now. That's why the country is in the state that it's in now. It's because of corruption. One side setting another side against the people. One side decided that I am going to arm my people. The other side did the same. One DJ decided that he was going to take that payola, and now good, decent, talented artists are suffering. One person at the wharf decided that they were going to make an extra tin of mackerel slide through, and now guns are coming through the wharf and the ports. You get what I'm saying? So we have to look within. We have to rid corruption. If we don't want to keep on seeing news where videos are coming out that is screaming corruption at us, we have to take the stand. We are the ones who have to fight against it. We have to end the lynch mindset culture. We have to be responsible for our action. You're guilty of something, you get time, man. I just don't break the law. Don't break the law. You understand? So that's just the thing. So we, the people, are the cause of corruption. Anywhere that it exists, we are the cause. The people, and I say we, because I dare not sit here and say that I am innocent, because I am not. But since I have came to realization and realized, hold on, this right here is the issue. I am the issue. I am the problem. I changed my mindset totally. And if we all could change our mindset as a nation of people, trust me, we will less likely to be getting news of people going inside their house and coming out unalive after police officers also entered into that house. If we want to start getting the news and seeing videos of clips being left in the rear of people's vehicle, we have to be the one to take a stand. If we want to see less guns in this country, we have to take the stand against corruption when we go to the wharf. We have to do all these things. And if anyone who is watching this video right now is saying in themselves, I do not know what I'm speaking of, my friend, that's exactly where the problem is. If we keep on denying that these things exist, we are going to continue to have these issues. And I'm telling you, you tell another officer about corruption, you speak about corruption. I have spoken to so much officers about the level of corruption, and they immediately dismiss it. They dismiss it. They want to speak to me as if no. Even the story that I shared in this video the other day, this video right here, you can go ahead and watch it. We are told that the inspector was telling me that my insurance is flawed and clearly was trying to get something out of me. I said it to a police officer and they said, did he say to you that he wanted anything? And I said, he didn't have to say it, I'm not stupid. So whenever you said something like that about anyone in the force, it's immediately dismissed. They have a thing in the police force, I don't remember the term, but it basically means this: they should never sell each other out. And because of that bit of nonsense that they have been taught, it leads to corruption, because one person is going to turn a blind eye when the other one is doing something. So we have to be the one to take a stand against this if we really want to get rid of corruption. Alright? So don't suffer from the disease of corruption cancer. Don't contribute to the disease of corruption cancer. Be a cure from the early stages of this corruption cancer. Because if we continue to support this corruption cancer, we are going to harm the entire body of the nation. And that's all I'm saying for today. My name is Jamaica. This is Free Speech People Talk, and I am out. Until next time, walk safe, blessed love, and rush them.
I observe that mankind have become selfish and hard to themselves, you know. I don't want to share with no one else. I Jamaica, come fi burn them, me come fi burn them. And tell me how them a go fix crime, and them no fix the city yet. When me try to find a job, then say I'm not legitimate, and then next time them a look fi we elect, them a grab the city blind. mankind, cause them a take what we forget, the youths a waste time. And it's a reach the ultimate if education is the key. You're so much illiterate, me have to speak mine. We no care what who a vex, me ask the bigger it's them why them sell out all and we assess because over the years we've been anticipating. Patiently we've been sitting and waiting, but now we sit, you're not really caring. Selfish because you don't dig the sharing. Hold on, also no food in your plate, king. Independence, what are we celebrating?